Hello, welcome to the Self-Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Unit 12, Types of Research. And we are continuing our topic, what is research? While giving an example of social work, Reid has pointed out that the research is not always what you would call scientific. It may be limited to gathering useful information. Many times such information is very important for planning a certain action and making crucial decisions. Further, data collected in such a research work may lead to the construction of a theory at some later stage. You may therefore conclude that there is no need to denigrate research that produces useful information without going into heavy theoretical explanation. You will, on the other hand, do better to recognize that at times mere collection of facts does not lead to a fuller comprehension of social reality. Therefore, data need not be collected for the sake of collecting data alone. For an understanding of the phenomena, you need to be able to build a conceptual and theoretical scheme that would help you to interrelate a larger body of facts and interpret them in a systematic manner. Further, in order to carry out scientific research, you need to go beyond the time and space of your own research setting and seek a generalization on the basis of your findings. This attribute of your research would make it applicable to other areas of knowledge. Finally, you need to recognize that the knowledge produced after a long process of research is not just for the sake of producing knowledge. As Waldstein said, production of knowledge is geared to the search for the good of the society. At this point, I would suggest that you go back to the first sentence of the introduction to the book. This will make you see the sense of training yourself in research methodologies and methods of social research. Now let us move to the next topic, types of research. As already mentioned above, you may come across research that is heavily theoretical, while there may be a research specifically conducted for the pragmatic reason of collecting facts to be able to make decisions. You already know that irrespective of the fact that a research is scientific, theoretical, or pragmatic, it has to be methodological and make use of established research methods. In fact, this is one of the reasons why you are reading this course. Mere use of research methods would not, however, make your research scientific. It would be scientific when you would deal with concepts, theory, and theoretical discourses in the field of your discipline. This is why in this book you read about the theoretical contributions to different schools of thought in sociology to understanding the social reality. In this sense, you would discover that there are hardly any shortcuts in the world of research, and there are no alternatives to a long drawn process of research. But you do certainly have alternative types of research to ponder about before deciding the way you would like to design your research. This is why we talk about types of research. You can combine with advantage several types of research in your own inquiry. Please do realize that many of them work better in combination through their placement as specific types may give the impression that each type is a distinct entity not compatible with another type. Before going over to the list of types 1, I would like to stress that you need to take each type as possible candidate for fruitful incorporation in your research. Often lengthy debates on the merits or demerits of particular types have made inexperienced researchers feel they need to take a stand while deciding to use a particular method of research. To my mind, these debates were useful to the extent they highlighted multiple uses of each type, but they were also the source of doubt and conflict in the minds of researchers. Very early during the development of scientific research, there was the debate about the inductive and deductive research. Adherents of each type fought over the merits of one over the other. Then there was the discourse on the value of theoretical research versus a mere collection of facts. Social scientists began to make distinction between pure and applied research. The debates ended for many with the realization that the two elements were not opposed to each other, but could profitably used as needed for one's research project. Let us now look at the list of possible types of research, similar to the arrangement of Saratogas into 15 types of social research. And we bring here a list of research types arranged in pair: basic and applied, descriptive and analytic, empirical and explorative, qualitative and quantitative, explanatory and longitudinal, experimental and evaluative, participatory action research. If you look at the name of each type, it would become clear that they represent different aspects of research, and it is quite possible for you to mix and match them. Combining different types of research would depend on the purpose of your research. Let us now discuss each pair of the above list in detail. Besides this discussion, there is in the 3 books of MSO 2, each type dealt in detail. The first one is basic or pure or fundamental and applied research. You can look at basic research as pure fundamental research because it concerns the principles or laws or fundamental rules and aims of achieving knowledge for its own sake. It pertains to the quest for knowledge about a phenomena without concerning for its practical use. You can do pure research to verify and remove doubts. If the doubt proves correct, you can modify the concerned principles and laws according to the conclusion and results of pure research. You can argue that there is nothing so practical as a good theory. For instance, developing a theory pertaining to the functioning of group mind or collective behavior or group dynamics can serve very useful purposes. You can also use pure research to reject or support existing theories about social phenomena. Sociologists have generally carried out pure research in order to discover laws governing social phenomena. Pure research is quite often the basis of evolving necessary concepts and technical terminology. While pure research discovers principles and laws, applied research discovers ways of applying them to solve social problems. Applied research focuses on analyzing and solving social problems. In sociology, we carry out applied research in the field of social, semi-social and socio-psychological problems. Sociologists work on pure research when they seek to find out why crime is committed or how a person becomes a criminal. If some sociologists try to find out how one can rehabilitate criminals and control their deviant behavior, you would say that they are engaging in applied research. For instance, sociologists making a study of nature and extent of drug abuse among truck and auto rickshaw drivers or among industrial workers are working for pure research. If this is followed by a study of how to reduce drug abuse among truck and auto rickshaw drivers, it will be applied research. Besides social problems, you can use applied research for social planning, social legislation, social hygiene, religion, etc. For instance, research in the field of family planning aims at the application of some principles. You can argue that the sociology can alleviate its importance by emphasizing applied research. Now let us wind up the session and take rest. Thank you very much engaging yourself with the self-learning podcast.